Oh, wait, slow down. You're going to miss something, like tip number 92. Welcome back to tip number 92 of 101 interviewing and interrogation tips for interviewers and interrogators. I'm your host, Stan Walters. We want to talk about slowing down a little bit our interview. Now, in this segment, there's 4 things I want you to think about: the speed that you're conducting your interview, in particular the speed of your subject's answer. One of the things that we found when we worked on research in New York, and it's very common in all polygraph exams and all research on human behavior and communication, you usually don't get a response from your subject for about 3 to 5 seconds after the stimulus question or the photograph, the document, whatever you happen to be using to get the subject's attention. 3 to 5 seconds. Now, the bad thing is human attention span is only, focused attention is about 8 seconds. So you're already running at the perimeter of how long we can focus our attention. One of the things to remember about the 3 to 5 second window is that the body language tends to occur before the speech. Now, that's because the body language is hardwired. Go back and look at our segment when we did 5 things to remember about body language, and we'll talk about that timing and what triggers body language behavior. The speech, on the other hand, takes about a beat and a half, a little bit longer. That's because we think it, we evaluate it, our risk of saying it, and then we say it. So knowing that 3 to 5 second perimeter, that boundary that we have, we've got to think that we have to slow down the interview. Now, what happens if you're too busy firing off questions? You want to come right after the bang, 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 bang. You got several problems going on here. Number one, you may have developed a preconception. That's typically the first warning that I see in an interview. The interviewer is driving too fast, driving too quickly. They want to create this situation where the subject feels that resistance is futile, there is no argument, that the interviewer has made up his mind, the evidence is rock solid, and I just want to know why you did it. Great risk for confirmation bias there, from preconception assassin that we talked about earlier. Other problem is with that 3 to 5 second delay, you're not listening to your subject, you're not hearing them. So there may be more critical information that's coming along. So if you interrupt the subject, you're not letting them play out the conversation and play out their thought process, which means you're cutting off really excellent or good information. But it's also confirmation back to your subject that you're not paying attention to them. And that begins to deteriorate your rapport building or your contact with the subject that you've made in your orientation phase. Final problem with this segment delay is that with your subject, that 3 to 5 second delay, that if you leave a pause, if you leave a gap, hey, did you feel it? There's this sense that there needs to be something else to be said. So let your subject respond, then wait an extra beat or 2 as if you're anticipating that there's more or there's more to the response. That encourages the subject to continue the dialogue. So if you're using a narrative-based interview, tell, show, describe, explain, it encourages the open question type response and a long dialogue. If you interrupt that, you're cutting off that flow of information, you've lost great detailed information. So think about the speed of which you're conducting an interview. Now, I don't mean you have to drag along and you're going, oh God, I'll never get there. I'm not telling you that. But understand anything that you cut off too quickly, you're missing a great deal of information, breaking a rapport building segment of the subject, and there may be more dialogue that's yet to come, you're not listening. So think about the timing, the speed of your interview. Be patient with it. Let the conversation play out. You wouldn't rush through a dinner conversation with somebody interesting. You'd sit and you'd pay attention and you want to hear what's going on. Give the same courtesy to your subject and watch what happens with the amount of details that you get.